Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a hot take on the future with Joe Biden. Here's a recent question. Reporter, do you still believe the stories from the fall about your son, Hunter, were Russian disinformation? Biden, yes, God love you, man. You're a one horse pony. My DOG will be totally on its own, making judgments about how they should proceed. Yeah, no kidding. They're going to proceed to completely clear Hunter's name and talk about him like he's the most innocent person on the face of God's green earth. Because that's what you'll tell them to do, or imply that they should, come up with that answer. Because that's what rich guys do. They're not stupid. They're not going to, come in. Well, they might have a secret meeting, and say directly, but probably wouldn't have to. They'd send an intermediary to, the president wants this to all go away, obviously. So here's how you're going to do it. And they'll make it happen. They'll make it happen. They'll do an investigation and find nothing. Find nothing. They'll find, some untoward behavior and oh yes, he's got a drug problem and he's going to rehab and he's doing real well, but there wasn't actually anything illegal. Now go back to sleep. That's what they're going to find under Biden. Now hopefully Trump will appoint a special prosecutor that he can't fire, which will find all sorts of stuff, and then Biden will somehow get him out from under anyway. Why the Democrats complain, oh, this is a waste of money. What a waste of money. Either that or they'll use it as leverage against Biden for when they want to get rid of him and say, well, you're going to leave or we'll let the special prosecutor take this to court. So, it gets pretty complicated, but, obviously you can't blame Biden for defending his son. The guy's neck deep in it with him, so obviously he's going to do that. Plus it's his son, so... there's really nothing you can do. Biden's going to protect his son until the end. So until you get enough Republicans in Congress to impeach him, enjoy the laughs, I guess, if he becomes president, which, again, looks more and more likely. Other things we could look forward to under a Biden presidency is stuff like this. Proud Boy run over by Black Lives Matter activist responds to prosecutors declining to charge his attacker. So, justice will be given only to certain people. See, if you have the wrong politics, then you're in the wrong. It's what Tim Pool has been talking about for probably 2 years. It's going to be social justice, not justice. Social justice. So, you get justice if you have the right political views, if you belong to the right group. If you're a marginalized group, well, yes, of course you get justice. But if you're not in a marginalized group, well, you're an oppressor. Who cares? Regardless of the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys are, they're a group. They're right wing, so they'll be a target. And they'll also probably replace Antifa as the guys doing all the protesting, which will be better because I don't think they're going to burn down cities. I don't. Kamala Harris says, it is my hope and prayer to work across party lines. Yeah, what that means is we're probably already going to have the votes, so it's my hope that you'll just vote with us, because why wouldn't you? It's going to pass anyway. So, it's likely the Republicans won't keep Georgia. Between the Democrats cheating, the Trump supporters being pissed off, and, mainly the cheating, they're likely to lose both seats, making Kamala, if Biden gets in, the deciding vote, which means they'll have both houses of Congress. They'll be able to pass all sorts of crazy legislation. And, whatever China wants, right? So if they got to pack the Supreme Court, no problem. if they got to redo the deal with China to hollow out the jobs in the United States, what some that Trump built, no problem. They'll do it. They'll do it because they're compromised or they're getting money or both. Kamala is just there, just another puppet, really. I mean, this is a woman who basically gave a Hummer to another politician to further her career. I mean, I don't think she has much of a problem doing other stuff. I mean, when you've basically slept your way to the top, I mean, I think you're pretty capable of doing anything for anyone for any reason at that point. I mean, it's not like she has any principles. Same thing with Biden. They're both completely hollow when it comes to that. They have no code. Say what you want about Trump. I mean, at least there's a code there. There's something working there. There's certain things he'll do and not do. There's a code. These guys, they don't have a code. They don't care. They'll do anything for power. Biden is insanely corrupt, and Kamala Harris is, well, she seems pretty anxious to be that insanely corrupt, quite frankly. Monday during an appearance on MSNBC's The Readout, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris pledged her desire to work with Republicans on the new incoming administration. Yeah, and they'll work with you. The rhinos will. The rest of them will tell you to go pound sand. And, half the country will hate you. And it's just a matter of time before she becomes president, or they may hang that over Biden's head to keep him in line. Why not? It's a way to keep him in line. They got Hunter. You can't protect Hunter unless you're president, and we got Kamala waiting in the wings, so better do what we say. What's this all lead to? Well, Tucker Carlson did a rant about the military going woke, and this is just the beginning. You're going to have the military go woke. You're going to have the school system go woke. We already had colleges go woke. So now imagine you're a fourth grader spouting the same sort of fight the patriarchy nonsense that, some blue-haired 20-year-old screamed at on a college campus. What are you learning? I'm learning that we're oppressed. That's what your kid's going to say. And in the Army, that kind of stuff, I mean, okay, do 10 push-ups. Oh, why? Because I'm black? I mean, you can't have that. You can't have that kind of woke nonsense in the Army. The Army's not supposed to see race. Yeah, there was racist stuff in the Army. We all know. That stuff's in the past. And you can't fix it now. As much as you want to fix the past, you can only fix the future. And by injecting all this woke nonsense, these quota systems, you're going to have unqualified people in certain roles. You're going to create resentment in the ranks. And you're going to have a less of a good fighting force for the future. And, the Chinese are all about the future, like down the road. They plan things way in advance. So, this kind of stuff is going to undermine the Army. So if it comes time that they have to fight, and, keep their supply lines and get their weapons ready, you're going to have a breakdown of the hierarchy, the chain of command. You're going to have infighting. You're going to have people who didn't do their job. You're going to have supplies running out. You're going to have all sorts of internal problems. The Chinese won't have that problem. No, not their army. Their biggest problem is they won't have the technology until they steal it all from us. But, give it another few more decades, they'll steal the rest, and we'll be fighting amongst ourselves over the use of wrong pronouns while the Chinese are building satellites that can zap us from space and building a city on Mars, and we're still arguing about who gets to use certain bathrooms, or who gets to be in certain positions because of their race or sexual preference. Um, you know, but this stuff, I think this stuff will eventually come to a head. I think it's already, people are already tiring of it. You know, there's a school of thought that this will accelerate things. So people will get sick of it faster, the trend will die, and then hopefully we can go back to some sort of normal, because people will get so sick of it, they'll be like, I don't want to do that anymore. And then they just won't do it. That'll be it. I mean, the rules will still be there, and they'll slowly be dismantled over the years because people will realize how stupid and impractical they are. But it'll take a long time. So we're headed for a lot of frustration over the next 4 years. You know, why they trash the economy. So buckle up, buckaroos. Did I have one more? Oh, yeah. So this is a really big, interesting article. Newt Gingrich discusses why he's not recognizing Biden as a winner in 2020. Yeah, I mean, he sees it, and this guy is, you know, he's a politician. He's a mainstream politician from the early 90s. He knows the deal. You know, I'm not a fan of this guy, but, you know, this is a guy who, he doesn't say these kinds of things about everybody. He didn't say this kind of stuff about Obama. He's saying it about Biden because he knows how bad it is. And if he's saying it, it's bad. It's bad. So for those of you who voted for Biden, don't come crying to me. We all told you what was going to happen. It's going to be bad. You're going to have some regrets. But, you know, the rest of you, I say prepare. Hunker down. Save some money. Think about, you know, getting some supplies on hand. It's going to be a long 4 years.